we're talking about. Maybe Estes picked up late into the first phase. And then for the side of Team Hack, yeah, it's true. Assassins for Gary, or maybe sustain fighters like the Dyrot. I would love to see more of that for sure from Team Hack, because they really look scary if they deploy that hero. So those are the things you can expect. One thing that I want to say about Team Hack is that they know and they have seen a lot of games already from Incendio Supremacy, as they now have played. So maybe this is the time where somebody will be able to read Incendio Supremacy's tactics.
We'll see, right? But honestly, looking at their games, Incendio Supremacy, especially yesterday, they really don't want to go up against a Wanwan, a Fanny, and a Joy. Those are the three heroes they banned out up against MDH, but this game, you're already seeing a change. No Fanny ban here.
Yeah.
They're actually opting to leave it, maybe to force it out of Team Hawk to ban. Thing is, though, do you really want to do that up against Gary?
I mean, that's a big question, right? I feel like it would be the safest route if Incendio just goes ahead and bans out that Fanny. We've seen Gary play it before and work around that. And then the other thing, too, is going back to the idea of where do you place these roamers, right? We've seen so much of Kadita, we've seen so much of Lolita pop up here, and we know that even Team Hack likes to play with the Kadita. They like also the Lolita here. They have a lot of options. You know that you're going to give up something. The carry's still on the table, by the way. So if you're willing to trade that, whether it be the carry, whether it be the Fanny, then at least you get yourself two of these two of these heroes that have been popping up constantly. Again, a lot of this is going to decide on where you even want to park in the gold lane. The Wanwan being out here, do you take the Beatrix? Do you take possibly even a mage in the gold lane?
Yeah, the Harith, right? The Lunox. Wait, expect that. Now, Incendio Supremacy will now have to decide, do they give out the carry, do they give out the glue? Two of those strongest heroes out there. And they might go even the route of what we saw from the previous series, where you ban out maybe the glue this time and open up both the carry, Kaja, as well as Valentina. Three of the strongest heroes out there, and get 2 out of 3. So that might be the choice here for Incendio Supremacy. Instead, it's going to be the Yuzhong. Now, Team Hack, what do you decide? Is it carry or is it glue?
Or Fanny, right? To add it onto the mix, Fanny. Oh my God, there's so many crazy heroes up for grabs. This is an insane draft so far. I think this is the most open draft so far.
I would see.
A lot of prio heroes have been left open, but for a good reason. If you're Incendio, you get 2, right? So it's the 2-for-1 special that we saw earlier today.
Correct. I think this should be the glue. Among all of the heroes that are available for Team Hack, that will be the strongest one. It's not like you don't want to give the glue to Incendio Supremacy. We saw that already. They're very strong with it. They know how to utilize that. They know how to rotate with that.
Well,
no,
that's
instead
not
it's a carry.
They opt for the carry here. Still a great choice, but I'm assuming, like you said, Wolf, you're going to see the glue picked up for Incendio Supremacy here. Still, it's, even the previous series, we saw the carry locked in, and it got shut down in a certain way, right? So there's the glue. It's still working around. It's going to be the Farsa. So
Rosa Farsa.
They've got a great option, with the Farsa, the burst damage there, not to mention glue.
Very early on, though. This is so early, right? A Farsa first pick here up against Team Hawk, who are known to go for those crazy, very divey heroes, right? And Gary, as an assassin player, I think right now he's looking at it. You can see the smiles on Team Hawk's faces right now. They might want to go for something like a Hayabusa that can dive towards a Farsa, perhaps something like a Grok too. That is a very good flex pick into the second phase.
Really love the Grok here. It could be a counter to the glue in a way when it comes to the laning stage. It has good peel for the carry, and you can cancel the ultimate of the Farsa. So I think that's a hero that they should be considering right now. Instead, it's going to be the Fanny. Oh, there it is.
Okay, so they lock in the Grok here, like you guys were mentioning. And again, if Fanny's open and you know that Gary's going to be one of the players playing in the fight, you know that Fanny is going to be opted for, right? So they lock that in. And again, going back to a previous series, you kind of saw how useful a Fanny can be, especially if that early start happens. But now you've kind of got to build around this, right? How do we protect that purple buff for Gary? How do we play around that? How do we get this early snowball advantage going until eventually we can transition to just allow
Carry to go for the Estes? I think they go for the Estes right now. Third pick. Because it can be banned out. There you go. They hovered it. I think there's no reason not to get it.
There
it is.
I mean, that was the answer towards a heavy dive composition from MDH yesterday. They were up against a Fredrim, a Lolita, and a Hayabusa with a Claw 2. Hey, it's basically a lot of dive 2 here, but the thing is, it might be a bit more burst. And guess what? There's a lot of CC from that wild charge as well. So, Incendio, especially here for that roamer, Apex needs to be very, very careful.
I mean, the only thing that worries me about Estes, right, is when it's locked in, typically the whole team is going to be centered around that Estes pick, right? That's kind of where that whole Ube factor even came from. But so when you have these 3 picks already from Team Hawk, and you're forced to fight around this Estes, Fanny can just cable on through as much as possible. You got to also be conscious of where that wild charge is going to come from. And still, we have 2 picks left from Team Hawk as we get through the second ban phase. And I mean, I feel like with an Estes, obviously the survivability, the sustainability is there, but still you got to be crucial about where you're placing, especially in the objectives, right? Because the thing about Grok, you think you have a good advantage in terms of objectives and spacing, but then here comes that Guardian's Barrier to kind of throw things off, and then you have Fanny flying around everywhere, right? So still something to consider here. Bans, though, for this phase, the Brody is going to be taken out as they narrow down those gold options. Also, Hilda is actually going to be banned out by Incendio Supremacy.
Yeah, it's all about the roamers for Incendio Supremacy. They understand that this Grok will be a flex pick and more than likely going to be in the XP lane so that you can match up against that glue. While Team Hack, I really love this Brody ban because it is actually a good component on how the Turkish Delight formed yesterday. It was one of those burst heroes that can combo up with the Farsa and is easily accented by the Estes pick.
Well, on top of that already, right? Honestly, right now, Team Hawk, they're going to have to choose very, very well on what to ban in the final slot right now. My opinion, Martis. Get rid of it, right? We saw what the Martis was. Well, yeah, it is already gone early on, very early on. But right now, I guess
that's the next best.
Yeah. That's the next best, right? Just get away these bully junglers out so that the Fanny can have a better jungle phase, a better pathing in the game. And right now, I think they're doing a good job at that, getting away some of the bully heroes too in the gold lane.
Yeah, take out those utilities if you can. And I mean, even taking a look at this, right? Look at Mana, the Ocean Shaman. Shaman. Number 1 highest pick of Kadita in M4, 3 picks, 67% win rate right
2 out
there.
of 3.
That's great for him, and that's why that last ban was targeted towards him, because we know that Team Hawk is one of those teams that really like to play around that burst potential, and so they take it out here.
Maybe Fredrin or Leomord is the choice now for Incendio Supremacy. There you go, the Fredrin. It just makes sense. You need a frontliner. It has good sustain. It can help you initiate with the glue. So it's like you're the first man in, so that the glue will have a better time at finding the right targets. And it's an open pick. You don't really give out your strategy just yet because you're hiding your gold laner. So what will be the answer now for Team Hack? They need to find a lot of damage,
Lunox.
actually a big burst. Lunox could be a choice. Eve is already banned out, so you don't have the answer to the Farsa. So maybe a Lilia, perhaps for Team Hawk, to go with the Grok and then go for a roamer that can also help you out with AoE damage. Maybe a Lolita, for example. Oh, the Valentina, we actually forgot about it. It's also still available.
Surprised it's still open, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that we typically see here. Valentina being locked in, though, hey, it allows you a lot of options, right? There's the Lolita to complement this. Valentina, though, you can take the Feathered Airstrike. You can take the heal from Estes to have that Blessing of the Moon Goddess. You can work around that. Now this kind of evens that scale a little bit, and then this is going to keep Incendio Supremacy on their toes, right? Especially when it comes to what does the Valentina take.
Exactly. Well, now if you're looking at Incendio Supremacy, they can go the easier route with Beatrix, for example, like a standard Ube, right? But they can go make it a little bit funkier, perhaps, with a Popple and Koopa so that they will have a solid lockdown, or reliable, at least, lockdown to set up for their other lockdown so that they can push. Or maybe something like a Bruno that doesn't really care about the tankiness of their opponents. But instead, it's the easier route, the Beatrix.
It's just efficient. It's a good pick right now. Even though the win rate hasn't been too good here at M4, we've seen that teams can still make this work. Just earlier in the first series. And with this composition, like you mentioned, Wolf, it's just the Ube strat, right?
Yeah.
They're going in, they want to clump up, and they want to get that healing. Question is for me now, up against the composition that Incendio, well, again, that Team Hawk have right now, with a lot of CC, a lot of burst damage, and on top of that, they also have the Valentina that can steal away that Estes ult. The sustainability is there too for Team Hawk. How are they going to fare?
That's why it's so crucial to how this game goes for them, because with that Valentina locked in here, you have a lot of dynamic to work with. And Incendio Supremacy, they've got to allow that Beatrix to get online, right? Sunshine's got to be able to get to that point in the game where he can kind of pop off. You got to keep things in that tempo in your favor if you're Incendio Supremacy here, and we want to see that Turkish Delight pop off once again. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn here. The first game between Team Hawk and Incendio Supremacy.
Right off the bat, one thing that I notice here is Gary actually went for the Festival of Blood on the Fanny, so Gary knows that he does not want to go for that crazy burst. He knows that the enemy team won't be alone, so he didn't go for the high and dry. He opted for the Festival of Blood just to prolong those team fights.
Good thing you just pointed out, because it doesn't make sense against the Turkish Delight to go for solo pickoffs. And Festival of Blood allows him to go for more cables actually and be aggressive in the early stages.
Wow.
Already see it. There you go. The dash in from Min to stun him up for Gary to pick up first blood.
Just like that, right? I mean, this is what we saw previously from Ken with an early kill on the Fanny. You know, Gary is running a different emblem like you guys mentioned. So hopefully for them, for Team Hawk, they want to extend those fights. And again, if Man is taking that heal, that sustain, it really prolongs it even further. Now, Lola taking that high and dry on this Grok, if they can find those lockdowns, it's going to be troubling. Still in the mid lane, a lot of poking back and forth here between these two. It's Min and Man that has to be worked on. And a lot of this too, I mean, well, they get the flicker out, but still all this leading up into that first turtle in about 30 seconds here.
Now, you know, you can see already a big advantage over Team Hawk just because of the fact that this mid lane get destroyed by Team Hawk. My goodness. Mid lane is the
Death lane.
death lane.
What was that damage? What was that coordination though, right? The fact that all of them went in, put their CC in together, and Gary just used his ult. That was that, right? It was so clean by Team Hawk. 2 kills already.
But again, you know, at this point, early start, 2 minutes in, first turtle comes up. It's going to be really dicey if Incendio Supremacy wants to actually contest this. But it is TNZ here contesting it, but being zoned out by Min and Man. There you go. Man decides to take the ultimate from Apex 47. You're going to have that sustain. Uh-oh, Lola.
That's a solo kill up in the XP lane. Man coming up now. Alien's going to pop the split, gets out in time. Man trying to chase him down, but Alien actually just gets out, has a pretty good laning phase early on. Gary's going to be able to dive in just for a bit. Remember, no high and dry, no killing spree. So in terms of just that assassination, won't be as lethal. Needs people to set it up for him.
Min.
Like this! Man, just as I say it, Numenon Blast to set it up for Gary to pick up another for Team Hawk. But Apex 47 now will be able to actually come in. Appraiser's Wrath finishes Gary off despite Man having the ult. TNZ now going to be caught low. Lola trying to look for more setup, trying to look for that CC. TNZ is going to be back to half HP with a healing from Apex 47.
Oh man, this mid lane is definitely the lane of death in this game already though. Incendio's able to equalize the cold that we have right now. Gary losing his life in the mid lane means that they will not be able to take out the turtle. In fact, Incendio Supremacy are not considering the turtle just yet. They want to clear out the mid lane and then deploy all of their members in a faster Turkish Delight activation.
Well, I mean, they're working on it, right? They're going to be setting up for something else here. They want to focus on this turtle.
Oh, my God. Well, Min is gone just like that. Gary looking for a trade here, but Rosa is actually going to be able to use the wings by wings, stunning Man up. He's very low. For the airstrike coming in, Rosa taken low. Still able to get back to Apex 47 for the healing to come through. TNZ on the turtle. Alien zoning the other members away. Gary, oh my God! That retribution by TNZ. Very, very close from Gary, stealing it away. Alien bringing Lola back. TNZ rotating over towards that XP lane, but it is just both teams disengaging, and Gary is still on that purple buff. We'll be able to secure it.
See, this is the thing, right? They get that turtle. Things now going in favor here for Incendio Supremacy. And all the meanwhile, Sunshine just having a good time in the bottom with Panda there. He did pick up the BOD, right? So he's got that Weapon Master, he's got the BOD here. And I mean, anything that stands out to you, Wolf, in terms of emblems here?
Just the Festival of Blood. The fact that the High End Giant was the choice now for Lola. We see sometimes Grok pick up the Weapon Master against the Glue, but this time it's going to be the High End Giant. Would love to see him be in action. So far, Lola has not been activated yet. Would expect him to be more aggressive, should be more aggressive, as Sunshine just becomes a...
That's why you get the skin, man.
That's why you get the skin. You get to fly, literally fly.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Oh, whoa, what happened here? Gary trying to invade Rosa. Rotating as well. TNC gets the red sheet down, picks up the purple buff, and takes it away. Can we get the camera
That's a new effect
there. What was that?
What level's your battle pass, Sunshine?
Hey,
I want to give that.
Level 151.
151, he's got the figurine and the special effect, the hidden one. But I mean, again, going back to this, right? Incendio Supremacy in a great position. 1.4K ahead here. First item's already coming out here, Wolf.
You can see the Cloud Destiny already available for Rosa, so he's finally able to survive like the abysmal laning stages they had. And Incendio Supremacy are already amassing all of the farm, and look at the defense. Sunshine with the damage. They still want to go for this.
They do. They really
They want it.
Rosa popped the Feather Airstrike in the mid lane already, though, so there's no more abilities to lock him down. Panda is going to be forced back away, but you can really see why the S-Test came through. Min now looking for something. Feather Airstrike comes in. TNC getting a whole lot of damage. What? Min gets bursted down again, deleted. And Incendio Supremacy now have built up a 2.4K gold lead. Wow.
And slowly and surely, they are able to get the turret down bottom lane, and then the turtle uncontested by Team Hack. The aggression coming out from TNZ. He knows that there will be sustain from himself and his teammates, and now Alien with Dominance Eyes. He's going to be surviving for now. Baits out that dash.
What a good play there. Distracting the enemy team. For the airstrike, going to come down again onto the mid lane. Min's going to be taken low again. Taking the whole lot of the Bandits' rage.
I'm sure, you know, if you were here the other day, chat's loving the AoE damage available from Incendio Supremacy, because that's what's going on here. You see how much front-loaded damage is not only from Rosa, but even Sunshine now. When they decide to go that route, they're putting on the pressure here.
This is the classic Ube formation, by the way, from M3. You get 4 members group up, including the jungler, and the XP lane will just take the long lane, or the opposite lane. And they just sustain themselves.
He just stands there menacingly. Sunshine's gonna fall. That's a shutdown picked up. Gary with the cable, styling on Incendio's Apex gonna fall as well. TNZ finally joining in with his team up in the top side of the map. Alien has rotated, but 3 members have fallen. Incendio bit off more than they could chew.
Good dissection coming out from Team Hawk as they forced Incendio Supremacy to commit a lot with that first kill onto Lola. When the Moonlight Immersion is down, you can see that Apex 47 doesn't have as much sustain as you can see. And also, Sunshine didn't utilize the flicker, which was interesting. I don't know if it was on cooldown back then, but all of those other, you know, minor mistakes coming up from Incendio Supremacy and minor over-aggression allowed Team Hack to get so much of an advantage.
I mean, even just looking at this, right, the pick rate, this is for carry. 51% with a win rate of 62%, 17 out of 26 games. You can see why it's so highly contested now. There are some struggles where you see, you know, Panda trying to get in range, and just even how tanky TNZ is right now. And they have to respect this feathered airstrike from Rosa. Even though Rosa had a rough start, Rosa's done an amazing job at just still being very valuable on this Farsa pick. And now that this first Lord of the game is up, I mean, Incendio Supremacy is in a great position to just kind of take this one. It's really going to be up to Min here to find another crazy setup with that Noon on Blast, or even Lola. They could fight around that, but still, you can see every member of Incendio Supremacy pretty much trying to get in position here. They would love to secure this first Lord of the game.
Despite losing 3 members in that top side of the map, again, they're only down to 1.5k gold lead, which is still a very, very good position to be in if you're Incendio. Meanwhile, they're already chunking the Lord, now down to about half HP. Sunshine with a Bennett. Alien trying to just be that frontliner. But the airstrike coming in, the ground blast as well. Rosa's gonna be able to actually stand there. But the airstrike responded back into Wings by Wings. Rosa gonna be caught. Gary with the cables finds 1 kill. Rosa is down. Sunshine still able to hit the other Team Hawk members away. That's a turret picked up by Team Hawk by the mini waves. And Incendio, Supremacy are playing the long game, but it feels like Team Hawk right now have the advantage. TNZ catches man off, but that's a defensive flicker away.
I think if you're Incendio Supremacy, you have to consider taking care of Rosa. You don't have to take care only of Sunshine, because Rosa is a big damage doer. It's very important and very crucial to the ult-based strategy that Incendio Supremacy is doing right now. Every time that the Farsa is getting picked up, that's a massive amount of damage that's lost from Incendio Supremacy.
I mean, here, the focus on the top side, looking to get this tier 1 down. You know, core items being picked up here, especially for Panda, allow him to kind of skirmish a little bit better, but you can see how hard it is for Man to even get that Rose. He wants the feathered airstrike, he really does, or even Apex 47s, but he's having a hard time getting it, and sometimes he puts himself in a position where he can't. He does have Apex 47 now, but I mean, at this point, still, you want to be able to get in a good position for this possible Lord take. The downside is, for Team Hawk, you don't have that tier 1 down yet in the mid lane, and that's why you see Incendio Supremacy controlling so much of this, because they're holding on to that, and that does make a difference here. Now, that's exactly why Gary's kind of just going around the map, putting pressure if he can.
I really love what Gary's doing right now. It's very smart. Divide and conquer is the idea for Team Hawk. They know that if there's someone who's dealing with the bottom lane or the opposite lane, will have to spend a lot of time before they're able to regroup and take the fight afterwards. This is the reason why they now diminish the goalie to 100.
Gary stole the purple buff away, he gets a kill too! He gets out on top of that with a healing from Man! Stealing away the blessing of the Moon Goddess from Apex 47. Team Hawk, not only have they equalized, but they've got the lead back.
Gary, what a guy.
What a guy.
What a guy. His rotations were on point, and the usage of his ultimate, and he knows that his team is going to be backing him up. Instead of going towards the river, he went to the mid lane because majority of his teammates are there after his kill onto Rosa. And the fact that he stole that purple buff, because Incendio's idea is give the purple buff to Rosa now, so that is why TNZ is not committed to the retribution now. Incendio have conceded the control of the Lord area.
Well, it does seem like it is going to be a free Lord. The crowd goes wild as Team Hawk secure the first Lord of the game.
So good pickup here, and all this resulting in just those macro decisions as a team, and even down to the micro decisions, the way that they kind of just moved around the map. They got some of those ultimates out from Incendio Supremacy, which gave them the advantage here. They're still holding on to that tier 1, but I mean, for how long now that that Lord is marching bottom?
Oh, Man's gonna fall to the feather airstrike there. Min, in the midst of it all. Alien, oh my god, that burst from Panda. It's not even DPS at this point, you can call it burst because of how fast he's attacking. TNZ in the midst of it all, once again, jumping in. That's Alien, looking for the slam, pass. Lola's gonna fall. Alien, still, the front liner. Gary! From out of nowhere, goes back in with the cables, finding a trade. 2 for 1 in favor of Incendio, but the Lord still pushing him towards the base of Incendio, giving more pressure for Team Hawk to pick up more objectives.
Well, Gary's just making a case. He wants to contest the title for the best jungler, the King of the Skies, against both Kyrie and Albert and Carl Tzius. Really making all of these great assassinations and saving Team Hawk time and time again. That would have been a very good clash for Incendio Supremacy as they're getting all those kills. And they're pressuring Team Hawk already, but the map as well as the control of the gold laners and the position force the mid laners. Gary's just making it difficult for Incendio Supremacy to cook their Turkish delight.
Well, I mean, again, you know, the fact that Incendio Supremacy is still in this game. Yes, they finally lost their tier 1 turret in the mid lane. They were holding on to it for dear life. They still have great tools here to win these team fights, and that's kind of what we've seen in the past couple of minutes here. Whether it's TNZ finding a setup here, Apex is sustained, even Alien, if he can get to where he needs to be, they've got great things to consider here, and that's what we see from Team Hawk. Now, biggest thing for them, Panda, you got to let Panda just unleash, right?
Yep.
Gary has been putting pressure on the side part of the map, the top and bottom lane, and then he kind of just swoops in, and that's what you're expecting from this Fanny. But still, Panda, if he can get taken out from Incendio Supremacy, they lose a ton of burst potential. And Sunshine's already at this point on this Beatrix where he's got the damage, right? If
Yep.
he can be protected, again, sustainability here, and TNZ, then you're going to be in a good position to fight and win those against Team Hawk.
Yeah. You need the window nature for both marksmen here. I think that is also the next spot for Sunshine. They're going to be
definitely.
waiting for it. You have to understand that Incendio Supremacy will wait for their items before they fight once again. And that will be just in time for the next Lord fight.
I mean, if you look at Rosa, also Winter Truncheon built
Yep.
up, right? So you can already see the respect being given, but
There it is.
my question is it too late? Because the thing is, Sunshine has been caught 2 times. Rosa's been caught 5 times before we see those defensive items come through.
Well, I mean, we just saw Sunshine pick up that Wind of Nature, so, and perfect timing, right? The next Lord's going to be up here, and you can see, right? Team Hawk has obviously that advantage, but again, I'm going to say, Incendio Supremacy, they should contest this. They have the right tools that they need. They just need to not be outplayed macro,
Yeah.
right? Macro style,
Correct.
because you can see it, right? They have to park Alien here in the bottom side, handling those waves, not letting it be pushed in. And that is what Gary is even doing so well here for Team Hawk as they prepare for the best moment for this next Lord.
What they need to do now is to find the opening. Bottom lane, that will be pushed by the Fanny for sure. So who is going to defend that? Is it going to be Rosa or is it going to be Alien? Both are needed in a team fight. Or do they just fight literally right now and force Team Hawk to not be able to do what they're planning to do? And wow, okay.
Yep,
So
a little too far.
a little too far. Weird.
Gonna go ahead and reset it for now. Lola, though, and
There
still
it is.
parking Gary in the bottom side, like you were mentioning,
Yeah.
right? Putting the pressure there, it's gonna force Alien away. Now, that is a big loss here for Incendio Supremacy if they don't have Alien with them. But someone's got to deal with these waves. Lord, these walls just doing things here for Team Hawk right now. Incendio Supremacy, though, you're gonna have to deal with this. It is a nice little lead. They don't have Alien here. Half health for the Lord.
It's a good forced error by Team Hawk. Alien in the bottom lane. Min gonna be caught here by Rose's Feather Airstrike, but he's gonna be able to go for the stun. Winter Truncheon to dodge away, but look at them in front line. TN's gonna be caught here. The healing comes in, but it's not enough to deal with the damage from Gary, from Panda, from Man, who picks up a double kill. Alien now in the midst of it all, going for the chase. A Hail Mary, all alone. 1v5, has the split to buy a little bit more time to get out. Jumps onto Man, but Man, he has the mortality. The team doesn't care, ignoring Alien 100% of the way. They're gonna go straight for the base. 8 seconds on Apex 47, and Team Hawk, they strike first with first game.
Man, 17 minutes, I think that was. They just decided, you know what, we don't need the Lord to win the fight, take 4 down, you know, Alien, he's gonna do glue things, let him be, push into the base, and take that first game of the series.
All throughout the early stages of the game, you know that Incendio Supremacy has already gotten it. They are controlling the economy. They're winning the team fights. But it was a big blunder in the middle part where they got beaten by the side of Team Hack. And why was that? What happened? What did Team Hack do? Well, they won by macro.
Yeah.
Gary was the precursor. He controlled the map. He made Incendio Supremacy react so much, and then he went for great assassinations. Great macro display, but even better micro play coming out from Gary. Definitely winning that game for them.
And at this point, Gary gave him the MVP, right? He split push. He did everything perfectly in that game, even to the emblem. He took that Festival of Blood, really
Employee
doing
of
him
the month,
wonders.
man.
Wow.
He's Employee of the Month.
Employee of the Month for
He
Team
wanted
Hawk.
to be that guy, and that's what he was after, right?
Gary
But
the carry.
Gary the Carry. Speaking of that, we do want to give a special shout out, of course, to Secret Lab, the official gaming chair partner of M4. We're talking about built-in lumbar support system that you can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam pillow, which I think we don't have right now, but
took it
still,
I
the
took it
brand new fabrics is all sorts of colors and designs. The Secret Lab Titan Evo 2022 gaming chair is designed to keep everyone seated in incredible comfort for a long, long time. We surely love them, and there's also more here, Mirko. There's an M4 pass.
Absolutely. If you guys want to get that flying Beatrix effect, right, or just the skins in general, you guys can level up your M4 pass right now because it's available, and you guys can just complete all active tasks to reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now to get exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser skin, the Beatrix Stellar Brilliant skin, and the M4 Beatrix figurine that's awaiting you in the game. And perhaps if you unlock it in real life, hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBB M4, and hashtag Dare to be great.
And there's more. The M4 Battle Night is going live on January 21st. Expects loads of events and rewards for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in-game on January 21 to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like most from the chest. Aside from that, battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. There's more. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. So save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate M4 Championship together, including with our friends.
Families.
And families. And Gary and everybody else. You know, so
Gary is a secret twin. He's Min Man and Gary.
I concur. And now we're going to throw it over to our analysts to break down this game further. Again, an amazing macro-style game that we just witnessed. Guys, what do you have to say?
Thanks, Naisu. That was a masterclass in macro. It shows the beauty of high-level Mobile Legends. If you're wondering about where your magnetic pillow is, well, I stole them and it's back in my hotel, and that's why I'm the big dog here at the analyst. And my name is Getting Q. This is going to be Jace as well as Assassin Dave. Break it down for us, boys, because Team Hawk already at match point. Nintendo Gaming, I mean, you mentioned it, Dave. They're like, man, this draft, Ube all the way through. Black Wings International vibes just seeping through.
Absolutely, and Team Hawk's prepared for it. It picked up the Fanny, and that just ripped through the entire Incendio comp like a hurricane. I mean, they have no solution for it, right? You saw that Gary was able to invade the jungle, right? Get the blue buff, and kill Rosa and gets away with it. And he's the only person who puts Rosa with 5 deaths. And let's take a look at the item build.
Man, looking at the item builds right here, I really have to commend Gary, right? He identified that, okay, I may have picked the Fanny into a wrong situation if you would go for high and dry, instantly switch into the Bloodlust emblem as well, going in, you know, pure sustain. I think that he actually swapped one of the items. The Windhawk was actually a later switch. I think he had the Anti-Cuirass as well, going in very pure defense. Another first item that he took was a Blair Hephaestus, emphasizing on that, and that's how Gary, you know, got the pick off on Rosa multiple times and delayed the push of Incendio Supremacy.
Actually, to add on to that, the fact that he has that 13k, previously we did see him with a Sea Halberd in the earlier stages immediately after he got his Hunter Strike. And again, that early game looked great until Incendio Gaming turned it around.
Absolutely. Alien was the key to victory for Incendio Gaming there in the mid-game, right? You saw Alien one-on-one the Grok on the side lane, and this guy actually just gave Incendio a chance. But through the mid to late game, the supreme macro from Team Hawk was just insane. You saw the 5-man team on the top side when they were about 1,000 gold behind. And let's take a look at kill participation. Mean 92%. What can we say about a mean man combo? I mean, in mid lane, the early game, easy 2 kills with a stun, and Gary waited for Mean to go into the tower and then fly in. Those were flawless.
I don't think it's the Petronas Twin Tower issue right now. I think Gary is that forgotten triplet, all right? A forgotten triplet. You saw how he was able to synchronize so well with Min and Man in the mid lane. That definitely immediately throw Incendio Supremacy into a losing mid lane. You lost the wing by wings, you lost the Farsa advantage, and then all of a sudden you lost your turtle, you lost every single thing. And not only just that, I also have to really highlight the fact that Gary, macro play, micro play, everything. This dude is amazing.
He's the all-in-one package, you know? These are the product, you know, the hair products people warn you about. The all-in-one shampoo, conditioner. You gotta be worried about that. And honestly, if we're really thinking about the overall game, you have to admit, the wave manipulations from both of these teams immaculate, so delicious, so very good. But at match point here, hopefully Incendio has something else.
Yeah, I mean, they really have to figure out how to either ban the Fanny or figure out how to answer the late game split push, right? The Fanny was able to accumulate the bottom wave and then put a pressure onto the lore fight. That was absolutely insane. So with that being said, guys, let's take a look at MVP of that match.
Yes,
It's
let's
not
hope.
Gary. I mean, it's got to be, right?
It has to be Gary.
It has to be. Come on, no surprises here. Gary as the MVP of this game on his Fanny. Superb gameplay and honestly great itemization.
Down to the macro, I believe. Like, you saw how Gary was constantly playing off the map. Knowing the fact that he is a Fanny, he could jump from one lane to another. And because Incendio Supremacy went for the Ube strat, they need 5 together. And you saw at the very last team fight, right, what Gary did. I shot bottom lane and then joined the team fight. Glue, on the other hand, has to join go all the way down to the bottom lane, clear it off. And by the time when the Glue went back to the team fight, it's a little bit too late. The Ube strat is gone.
Yeah, they forced Incendio into a really awkward position where they actually took the fight here. With the MVP, let's take a look at a heat map of Fanny. You can see that this guy was actually, I mean, it's all over the place, right? In his own jungle, mostly the blue buff, and then go to the red. But he's getting so many kills in the mid lane.
He is, and I think, a lot of his focus was to make sure that Estes was as weak as possible. And then when he realized, oh, he's got a little too many items, then after the 5-minute mark, he starts putting pressure into the side lane. So very dynamic gameplay coming out from a Fanny. And most Fannies are pretty one-dimensional, even though the hero can be so creative and expressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fanny, different from Lean, this character doesn't have the cooldown on the dash, right? On the skill 1 of
That's
mobility.
right.
So when he split push, even though you saw the Fanny on the bottom lane, you still can't really do too much, right?